Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. I got a very special guest on the channel today. I got my boy Huey. I appreciate you coming, especially on the spot. You know, 10 minutes ago you didn't even know you was gonna be on here, and you on here. But that's the beauty of YouTube. That's the beauty of my channel. Is, we're gonna be able to talk our shit on here. So I appreciate you coming on here.
Appreciate you having me.
For sure. But we got something I never thought I would see. And literally, I have no idea what this video is gonna be about. The profile picture was Jason Tatum and KD. So I don't know what that's gonna be about, but hey, let's get into it. I don't really know what it's gonna be, but that's the beauty of reaction video. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. Go ahead and like this video. If you like this video, go ahead and write something in the comments. Write what other reaction videos y'all want me to react to. You might knock them out. Me and Houston might knock out a couple more. Who knows? But let's get into it. We got something I never thought I would see. Let's get it.
Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Stephen Curry, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, John Morant, Jaylen Brown, DeAndre Ayton, Kyrie Irving, Pascal Siakam, Desmond Bane, Jordan Poole, Brandon Clark, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, CJ McCollum, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Klay Thompson, and Nikola Vucevic.
Before he explain what the hell he about to explain with this, who you think is the top 5 players on this list?
Ooh.
Top 5. My favorite player on this list is Anthony Edwards. That's my favorite player in the league right now, bro. Like that's they know.
You got him in your top 5?
He in my top 5 for sure.
Okay,
on this list right here for sure.
Let me see. That's tough.
Let's see what we got now. I see Giannis.
Okay. Ooh. I got Giannis.
Give me y'all 5 too. Write y'all 5 on this list too.
You want me to just give my 5 straight? You gonna go 1 for 1 and 1 for 1?
Yeah, we do 1 for 1. Yeah.
Right.
You got Giannis?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go. Oh, I see Harden. There's some niggas on here.
Yeah, it is for sure.
No, give me your 5. Give me your 5 first.
Alright, so I got Giannis. I gotta throw Ja in there because he a killer right now.
For sure.
Ooh. Curry.
Steph on there.
Need Curry in there.
Giannis, Curry, Ja.
I wanna throw
2 more.
the Joker in there.
Jokic. 1 more. One more. Chris Paul going crazy right now.
No, I want to say Paul, but then I want to say
Kyrie.
Tatum though.
And Tatum. Oh yeah, it's tough.
I want to say Tatum. I think.
Tatum. Okay.
I want to say Tatum. I'm sorry, Chris Paul, but
sorry, James Harden. Sorry, Kyrie Irving.
James Harden. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Fuck with him, but
he ain't in that top 5. I got you. My 5. Yeah, I'm gonna go Giannis, Luka, Anthony Edwards, Kyrie.
Oh, I didn't say Kyrie.
And
Kyrie.
Gotta go Jokic.
Whoa,
Oh, I didn't see Curry. Did I say stuff?
I gotta remove somebody.
Yeah, there's too many people on here, man. There's too many people on here. Let's get to this. Let's finish the video.
Now,
It's too many
you may be asking yourself, why did I just name 26 random NBA players with absolutely no context?
Right.
Well, they're not random. These are all the players who have outplayed Kevin Durant in the first round of the NBA playoffs. I've seen a lot of things in my day, but never, ever did I think I'd see the day where Brandon Clark outperforms Kevin Durant in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
And yet here we are. After being held as the favorites coming into the 2022 NBA season, the Nets have been bounced out of the playoffs in a first-round sweep thanks to arguably the worst playoff series of Kevin Durant's career. Is this the worst playoff run we've ever seen from an NBA superstar? Or is Durant just the latest addition to a long list of all-time greats with all-time playoff meltdowns?
Hey man, leave Kobe out of this. Kobe ain't got nothing to do with
Today's
this.
video is...
Did you watch that series?
Yeah.
So what you think?
So growing up, I really love KD. So just to see that, it's like I thought he was arguably the best player in the NBA.
Right.
So it's like, but to see that, and then with Kyrie Irving, who I also hold up there real high, it was just like, damn.
But is it okay to have a bad series? Like, I mean, he's human.
I know, right?
He's
you would
human.
think so, but like, nah, because that's what they do. That's what they focus on. So this is what this is what their achievements are based off of is that right there. So it's like for them to be so great of a player, it's like that's what comes with it.
Right,
you expect them to perform in them type of situations. So
yeah, like it was set up for him to be you know, to thrive, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but let me know what y'all think about that. Like, what was the issue though? Like, are we just not giving Boston enough credit? Because they was out there, they was balling, they was doing their thing. But it's like, nah, fuck all that. Like, KD ain't doing what he got to be doing. It's KD fault. He ain't who we think he is. Like, it was crazy for real. It was crazy.
I think Boston, they're not getting enough credit though.
Yeah,
right.
But
they're a solid team.
They're a solid team. Tatum is a superstar. Like, if he wasn't a superstar last year, he's a superstar now. Like, I definitely say that. And he only 23, 24. So the future is super bright for him.
Ridiculous.
Super bright for him. But let's get into the rest of this video.
The date is May 7th, 1995. The Chicago Bulls are facing the Orlando Magic in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Michael Jordan had just returned to the NBA 6 weeks prior after his first retirement and was still shaking off the rust. The Bulls knew the Magic were going to be a tough matchup, but at the time, no one knew just how dominant this Magic squad was. Only 27 years later can we look back on this game and say that it would go down as the worst playoff performance in Michael Jordan's entire career.
Not at all. They was locking Jordan up.
Never heard about this. You never told me about this game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it's so cool to always go through these different reaction videos, because kind of just basing it off of stuff you always just hear. It's like, yeah, Jordan was 6 for 6. He, you know, all these game winners. He never made it to a game 7. You just kind of picture him as being this perfect player, but it's like, no, like, he had his ups and downs. He had, you know, he had series like this. Like, he was human. I mean, don't get me wrong, he might have been a superhuman, but he's still a human at the end of the day.
And that's
like,
the thing, like, film don't lie. I ain't gonna say like I ain't taking away nothing from Jordan at all, but it's just I never got to really watch film on Jordan.
Exactly.
I only watch highlights. People tell me about what type of player he really was.
Exactly. Honestly, in my opinion, this kind of makes him even greater. Because it's like, you know, you see he's down 2-0 in this series, and then he storms back and go crazy, or he lose this series, and then the next year he come back and go for 50. Like, it's like to kind of see, like, you know, how he kind of, you know, returns after the failure. So makes him even greater to me. Kenny and Shaq out there giving
Jim Gray over at the Chicago bench telling us his hope. Jordan. Chicago. Under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, right.
The third. Jordan.
Turn that joint over and everything.
Jordan. Ran over to Helm.
Getting ripped.
And Jordan spinning his leg against Anderson.
And they lost this series. I think this is when Orlando went play Houston in the finals. Enough of this number 45.
19 points, 8 turnovers, 36% from the field, and 0 for 2 from 3. The worst playoff stat line of Michael Jordan's career. The Bulls went on to lose this game, and Michael ended up with a game score of 2.6. An average playoff game score from an average NBA player is about 8, which means that for a single game, Michael Jordan played considerably worse than an average player. On that night, MJ wasn't the best player on the court, or the second, or third, or fourth. In fact, Michael had one of the worst games of anyone that suited up that night. This is the first, and probably last time you'll see MJ at the bottom of any sort of list on this channel. And I bring up this infamous 1995 playoff game because after seeing Kevin Durant play in this year's playoffs, I began to wonder, how bad can things truly get for an NBA superstar?
How old was Jordan during that time, y'all? Let me know in the comments. Because that was the year he retired, went to play baseball, and he came back. So just kind of give me an age for Jordan, because I want to kind of see if he's the same age as KD was this year. Let me know.
It's one thing to miss some shots, get on a bad run and find yourself struggling to get out of it. It's a completely different thing to collapse for an entire playoff series as your team gets swept out of the first round of the playoffs. In Durant's 14-year NBA career, I have never seen him play or even act like this on the court. KD was playing so bad that I was genuinely wondering if he was dealing with some sort of serious injury. Are KD and Kyrie beefing or something? Did Durant bet against the Nets in this series? I'm being serious. Those are genuine questions. I've never seen Durant look so hesitant and disengaged and just off. The last time we saw KD in the playoffs, he was averaging 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists a game, while carrying the Nets and nearly taking down the eventual champs in the Bucks by himself. What happened? Just take a look at KD's playoffs numbers throughout his career. There's a steady increase in production and efficiency for over a decade. Even last season, at 32 years old, after not playing basketball for a year, his numbers were still off the charts. Now, here's the scoring numbers from this year's playoffs. I'm looking at a cliff right now. From the Kevin Durant we all know and love, to this player that seems so unsure in himself and his abilities. We all watched this series unfold and we saw just how bad he was playing. But the extent of his troubles goes much further than you may think. The Nets are the only team that didn't win a single playoff game in this year's playoffs. This is the same team that was favorited to win the finals at the start of the season.
They're the only team that got
almost the same team, with the subtraction of James Harden and the addition of Ben Simmons.
He doesn't have the heart.
That's that meme where it was like, it's like the girl be like, I want a dude that don't play no games. Then that's the picture, like, all right, that's how I'm gonna be.
Yeah, because I don't know how he play basketball anymore.
I literally forgot. I forgot how Ben Simmons played. Even though I will say, once he come back to Brooklyn, I think they're going to be a super good team. They're going to be a super good team. But my question is...
Maybe they're going to get swept.
Maybe not. My question is, though, who is the best player in the league? Because I had KD as the best player in the league, I feel like a couple months ago. But if you had to choose, and I don't want to be one of the people that's just like so like, one thing happened one game and I'm switching this and switching that. Like I kind of want to stay, you know, kind of the same way I feel. Yeah. But I might have to give that nod to Giannis. I don't know. But who you say?
I might have to go with Giannis.
Giannis as the best player in the league?
Might have to.
Yeah, I got to too.
This guy doesn't have it. There's no dog in it. There's no dog. There's no dog in the guy. He's soft.
But I asked myself, is this the worst playoff run from a superstar ever? There's been some bad showings over the years. Playoff series that made us question the entire legacy of a player, monumental choke jobs. But was Kevin Durant's first round series against the Celtics one of the worst we've ever seen from an all-time talent? Well, I checked. I searched through hundreds of playoff series by some of the greatest players in NBA history.
Out of this.
And the answer may not be what you expect. Okay, so here's a chart of the worst playoff performances by all-time greats over the last 40 years, with game score on the y-axis and net rating on the x-axis. Now, I only included seasons once a player reached their prime, and immediately there's some key points that jump out. This region, right here, is the legacy tarnishing region. If a player has a playoff series that lands them in this region, it will inevitably lead to harsh criticisms of that player and their abilities as a whole. Within this region, you'll find a handful of the worst playoff series by some of the greatest players of all time. But you know what series you won't find in this region? LeBron's 2011 finals against the Mavericks. One of the all-time biggest playoff meltdowns in NBA history. And it's not even close to one of the worst series by a superstar that we've ever seen. Here's Stephen Curry's 2016 finals performance, where after winning the first and only unanimous MVP in league history, Curry had an absolute meltdown in the finals. His team blew a 3-1 lead, and to this day, he hasn't heard the end of it. As monumental as LeBron's collapse was in 2011, Curry's collapse in 2016 was even worse. Or what about Kobe Bryant's disastrous performance in the 2004 NBA Finals, where in his prime, Kobe averaged just 22 points per game on 38% shooting from the field and a dreadful 17% shooting from three for the series. The Lakers nearly got swept by the Pistons, winning just one game in the series, and Kobe would walk away from those 5 games with the worst playoff stretch of his entire career. This was one of the worst playoff series by a superstar in league history. But somehow, Shaquille O'Neal matched this piss-poor performance with a meltdown of his own in the 2006 NBA Finals. With Dwayne Wade carrying the load for the Miami Heat, Shaquille O'Neal had the worst stretch of playoff games in his entire career. 14 points and 10 rebounds a game, while shooting just 29% from the free throw line and being an all-out liability on defense. His average game score throughout this 6-game series, 9.6. Literally equal to that of an average performance by an average NBA player in the finals. The man scored 5 points in Game 2 and just 9 points in Game 6. This series should have been a huge black mark on Shaq's legacy, but it's not. 16 years later, and no one even remembers the fact that Shaq was getting benched in the NBA Finals. But wait, it gets worse. Because back in 2014, Dwayne Wade put together the worst finals appearance by a superstar in modern NBA history. 15-3 and 3 a game on 43% shooting and finishing the series with an average game score of just 7.9 and a net rating of negative 7.8. A series this bad in the finals kind of makes you wonder how a performance like this went free of virtually any criticism. Maybe in the moment Stephen A. Smith spouted out a well-worded monologue, but that's about it. 8 years later, and this series collapse from Dwayne Wade might as well have never even happened. And believe it or not, there have been multiple superstars that virtually never had a bad playoff run. Here's Tracy McGrady's worst playoff series against the Jazz in 2007. Here's Dirk's worst playoff series against the Rockets in 2005. Larry Bird and Kawhi Leonard have never had a bad playoff series once they entered their prime. And with impossibly great consistency is Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, pretty much being the best all the time no matter what. So if these are the worst playoff series by some of the greatest players of all time, where does Durant's round 1 series against the Celtics land?
Where's that?
Well, right here. Far from some of the worst playoff runs we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's not even that bad.
Did Durant have a good first round series? No, far from it, especially by his standards. But let's look at the big picture here. The man averaged 26, 7, and 6 a game and nearly had a 40-point triple-double in the closing game of the series. Now sure, we're used to seeing even more from Kevin Durant, and the fact that the Nets got swept out of the first round certainly doesn't help his case. But I mean, which is worse? Putting together a masterpiece of a choke job in the finals with a championship on the line, or getting bounced out of the first round of the playoffs long before you even had a shot. If you think this is the worst meltdown from a superstar in the playoffs, I've got some news for you. It's not even close. If this is the worst that we've ever seen and will ever see out of Kevin Durant, then it's a whole lot better than what we've seen from other all-time greats. Kobe was a shell of himself in a final series that nearly ended up in a sweep. Shaq was getting benched in the NBA Finals. But because the Miami Heat walked away with the championship thanks to Dwayne Wade turning into God himself in a Heat jersey, Shaq's performance got swept under the rug. Back in 2010, Kevin Garnett averaged just 10 points per game against the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the Celtics still won in 6, so I guess we'll just act like that never happened. Don't get me wrong, seeing Kevin Durant go 0 for 10 in the second half of a playoff game almost feels like some sort of dream. Like I should be waking up any moment now. Watching Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving default to Bruce Brown in the playoffs might just be the least likely thing I'd ever thought I'd see on an NBA court. But the fact is, no matter how good a player is, no matter what legacy they've spent years building, every single player has had a playoff run they wish they could get back. A series where they wish they could hit the reset button on and get another chance at. And this round 1 series just happens to be Kevin Durant's. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.
Great video. Great video. Kind of the way I was feeling about Jordan is how I'm gonna kind of use this this series from KD. It's gonna be all about the rebound. When KD come back next year, averaging 40, going to the playoffs, winning the championship or something crazy like that, like you could kind of use that and be like, y'all see, like he wasn't perfect. He had a terrible series this year, but he came back and went crazy, and now he's this, one of the top 3 players of all time or something crazy like that. Like that could happen, but you never know, man. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Go ahead and tell them a little bit what you got going on, man. This is your time to tell the people that don't know you, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so first off, man, I appreciate you having me on.
For sure, man. For sure. Mud Made, Toledo, Ohio. It's only right. It's only right we stick together and we grow together. So,
yes, sir.
It's only right.
All right, so my name is Huey King, y'all. I make music.
Make great music. Make great music. You don't just make music, you make great music.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna throw all that in here too, so they gonna see all that.
I'm also a real estate agent in Atlanta, but I handle all type of shit in Georgia. So anybody that needs property handle with anything, let me know.
Okay.
And then so y'all can find me on Instagram at Huey King, HUEYKING. And yeah, that's where a lot of the content is at. I'll follow you guys back.
For sure.
Interact, DM me, it's whatever.
For sure. And I'm gonna add all his socials and all that in there. You know, this is what this channel is about. I told y'all, like, this is what I, strive for this channel. This channel is bigger than me. It's gonna start with me, but I want the HenDawgz, to be global and to help everybody out, as best as I can. So I appreciate y'all like always. Until next time, we out.